Google, damn you. And we are live with another episode of BS Busters. This one is the Thanksgiving cast, I guess. A little speed. This is a speedy thing. It's not going to be too long. I guess we'll start with the guy who's being the quietest. Dr. Lord Dynamo himself. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Dr. Feel Good here. We got the smooth moves and groovy tunes. Always in the gaming mood, and as you can see, I'm gaming right now.
Like, I'm gaming right now.
Playing
Okay.
Splatoon.
Yeah, of course. We
But
can hear it in the background. And let's see, what else? What else have we got going on? We also are joined by Kanushi Abominito, but he'll tell us what he's doing himself.
Oh, this is Kanashi Abominito here to say that it's a pretty quiet night for me. Not much is going on.
It's Thanksgiving, man.
Nice quiet night of me watching people troll each other.
Man, to be young again. Even though I'm only 30, so I'm young myself. So it's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner, proprietor, BS Busters. I have no idea what number this is. We're up there in the hundreds, maybe even 200s probably. So without much ado, let's get into it. This is a Thanksgiving cast, so I guess let's talk about some things we're looking forward to this holiday season. Anyone have a game they're looking forward to coming out this holiday season? Anything. It could be an indie, it could be AAA.
I'm looking for Kingdom Hearts 15, or not Kingdom Hearts. Might as well be called Kingdom Hearts 15 because of the way it plays, but looking for Final Fantasy 15 to completely bomb. It probably won't. It'll probably do okay, but
that is troll. You're trolling the hell out of people, man. You're breaking people's hearts.
Square Enix needs a message.
Not really, to be honest. I mean, I have some. My backlog is big. I guess I think I'm looking forward to is finishing some games.
Well, I mean, I heard what you said, Kanoshi, but I mean, hasn't Square Enix already been sent a message? Like, Square Enix Japan could go bankrupt? Like, isn't that a message enough? Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want them to go, look, listen, even though they hurt my heart and would not make games that I wanted to play for 15 years now, I don't want them to, that's like someone saying, oh man, we're going to teach this kid a lesson, so we're gonna throw him down a flight of stairs. It's like, damn, that's a little too harsh. There are better ways to garner attention than throw someone down a flight of stairs. But yeah, I'm hoping that we'll get some better stuff, less strenuous stuff. I'm looking forward to Shantae, the new Shantae game. I'm looking forward to that.
You're looking forward to what?
The new Shantae game coming out in December. Final Fantasy 15. Here's the thing. I played like both demos. Like, I don't know if that game's gonna be good or not. Like, even if the game isn't terrible, is it gonna feel like a Final Fantasy game to me as like an old school Final Fantasy fan? Probably not. So there's nothing this game could do that would really bring me back into the fold unless they go back to their roots. But they aren't. So,
I mean, I'm not looking forward to it like that. I mean, I am going to play it. I'm going to pick it up. Trust me, it won't be a full price. But like you, I'm not looking forward to it, but I am interested in playing it.
yeah, like, I mean, let me put it this way. I'll probably go to my friend's house and play it at his place, or my other friend go to her place and play it. When it comes to PC, I'll probably pick it up, but I'm not paying full price for it. I'm sorry. Fuck that. Because Square Enix, you've been effing up recently. And that's on you, you bastards. With that being said, Overton, these holiday season you guys are looking forward to? Or have you already seen it? Were you like The Prisoner of Azkaban? Sorry, what was that one with, shit? With
Magical Beasts and
Johnny
Where to
Depp,
Find Them, I think that's what it's called. I'm actually
Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Beasts and Where to Find Them. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that movie because I like to see the idea of her expanding upon the universe rather than just focusing more on Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I know they're the three main characters, but Hogwarts has yet to be explored. So I think it's going to be interesting.
The fact they're like the conundrum that we've always had. It's like, look, you could just shoot one of these motherfuckers point blank. Like, I guarantee they can't whip off a spell faster than a bullet can travel. You know?
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered too.
Like, I'm reasonably certain. You know, there's less magic users than there are people with guns, swords, and knives. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the problem with magic is it's too slow. Even if you could say it in your head, like it'd still be too slow. You got a giant pickup truck with a Gatling gun on the back of it, and some maniac. I mean, it's just no way they would all be wiped out.
Now, let me put it this way. You know what would be cool if here's what I think J.K. Rowling needs to do. Okay. She needs to basically upend her magic system. What I mean by this is maybe introduce the witch hunters, like people who specifically hunt magic users, right? Maybe there was a war between the witch hunters and wizards and witches hundreds of years ago, and the witch hunters were wiped out, but apparently some of them went underground and they come back. And it's like the witch hunters could have kicked Voldemort's ass up and down the road. But they were like, fuck them. You know, they made this line.
They can't use like they're not like you have Muggles that are aware of magical artifacts and have the ability to use them through I don't know what, maybe through like potions or something like that. Like even regular people are able to use certain magical artifacts through certain needs or whatever. That would be interesting.
I mean, that'd be
Something
cool.
Like that, or
maybe introduce magicians, people who can do magic without needing some shitty wands.
Oh yeah, something like that. Like a class of people that
or other focuses, like
class of people.
Hey, it's called Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, maybe. Well, Warner Brothers would never do this because they don't know how to run cinematic universes. But wouldn't it be cool, like, have those stupid wizards from Hogwarts? Hey, I've got a wand. Doctor Strange is like, hey, get the fuck out of here. Sit your ass down. Take that wand and shove it up your ass. Abracadabra this, bitch. That would be a funny movie. I'd pay to watch it. Well,
or you have your Japanese wizards who are just shinobis.
Basically, that'd be.
Don't need wands, so you just use hand signs. Yeah.
Onmyoji is what they're called. They're like they use like talismans and shit. Like it's like J.K. Rowling. She's like, I'm stagnant. I don't know where I can go with this. It's like, lady, read some mythology from other things and upend the magic in your universe. And please, for the love of God, make some better fucking dragons. Your dragons suck. Your dragons fucking suck. Okay? If you're a fantasy writer and your dragons suck, everything else is gonna not be very good because dragons need to be badass. I know some people are gonna say some shit. Oh no.
Like the Hungarian Horntail could have been a lot cooler than it actually was in the fourth book, but there was some wasted potential with the Hungarian Horntail.
So. No, I'm just saying in general, she fucks up dragons. Like, let me put it this way: as someone who's been reading fantasy stories for a very, very, very long time, like one of the hallmarks, it's kind of like one of the hallmarks of a good science fiction writer is how they explain their technology, right? Like, is it rooted in actual scientific principle, or is it just some bullshit they pulled out of their ass? And one of the hallmarks of a good fantasy writer that deals with high fantasy, like magic and wizards and dragons and elves and shit, is how they represent their mystical, magical creatures. If your dragons are basically glorified wild animals, I'm sorry, you fucked up, JK.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up. Now, if you're here's the thing. I don't like Tolkien, but he got one thing right. The Hobbit, Smaug is fucking terrifying. Like, if you actually read it, or if you watch my personal favorite, the Ruby Spears Smaug, who has a Cajun accent, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Like, I was like when I read the Hobbit, I'm like, look, they came and hit. Look, listen, he beat those people. That's his gold by rights. He beat them. It's his. You don't come into his house fucking with his shit and think you just gonna walk out. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Yeah, some people have to die. I'm sorry. It's done fucked up. As they say.
The problem with me with fantasy is with like The Hobbit. So I tried reading it, and it's like just too much salt. That's kind of what I feel like about super high fantasy like that. It's just like it's too much, you know. It's just
I have no idea where you come from with that, because literally The Hobbit. The thing about J.R.R. Tolkien is that he's actually closer to low fantasy than high fantasy. Like, he has wizards, but Gandalf uses magic very sparingly, like very rarely, if at all.
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't spend a lot of time. Like the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings book that has the most action is The Two Towers. Believe it or not. That's it. I mean, he spends more time describing a meal that the hobbits had, that the Fellowship of the Rings had at an inn, than he does in some of the fight scenes. And
it's just more
like, but I get what you're saying.
I heard
Tolkien's
maybe The Hobbit was a bad example, but there's just
no. I understand what you're talking about. Tolkien's hard to get through because he, like I said, he spends more time talking about what they ate, than the action, and it's like, no, Tolkien, no.
I like I also kind of like low fantasy, like Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis. Or something like that.
Yeah, I used to like Lewis myself, but then like all his shit is basically all of his fantasy is allegories for Christianity, and it's like, God, Tolkien, why? That's what people create fantasy. Fucked up. Now, my favorite low fantasy writer is I'm a huge Robert Howard fanboy. So like my low fantasy hero is Conan the Barbarian, because like basically, let me put it this way: you throw Conan the Barbarian in C.S. Lewis's and universes, in his Narnia universe, or Conan the Barbarian into Lord of the Rings. First of all that running around and we need to go over here, that shit would have gotten done in 30 pages. Dude's like, one doesn't simply walk into Mordor. Well, Conan's going to do it, and if anyone gets in his way, he's going to kill them horrifically. and not only that, look, listen, you think Strider's all badass? Look, Strider's going to come back home trying to get the ring to Mordor. He's going to find his queen to be pregnant, and it's not going to be his kid. It's going to be Conan's kid. Because Conan is that type of hero. He's the hero we need.
Yeah. Speaking of Mordor, Shadow of Mordor, like, it had an interesting system that has yet to. I wish that other games would actually do, except a little bit better.
The promotion system. Like if an enemy, you kill an enemy, another dude pops up to take his place, and there's like a little like story behind the character and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Nemesis system. That's what it was called. Yeah, that was a very interesting system. But I mean, like at the end of the day, playing that game, I felt like I was playing essentially Middle Earth Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, again, it doesn't have to be Lord of the Rings. It could be something else. Like, I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. Like there were some really interesting ideas in that game. I just wish Warner Brothers had let the team. Like that game could have been really awesome had it not taken place in Middle Earth. Because like if you know the lore of the books, it's like all this shit's happening. It's still going to be fucked. Like it doesn't matter what this dude's doing. Everyone's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like this is your hero. Look, everything this dude is doing is fucking useless. Unless he happens to be a little hobbit with hairy ass feet and a little sword, then he might be able to do something. Or maybe not. I don't know.
What about the Star Wars movie, Rogue One? Excited for that?
I'm looking forward.
I don't know how I feel about that movie.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm totally looking forward to that. I'm trying to see if I can get into an early screening of it. I'm pulling all the favors I can. Because I totally want to see it, because this film looks like it. This film is gonna this film takes place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. It basically tells the story of how the rebels got the Death Star plans, right, to Princess Leia. But here's the cool thing about it, right? From what I've heard about it. It's going to have Darth Vader in it doing what Darth Vader does best. It's going to have people fucking up and probably getting choked out and killed by Darth Vader. And all those people that you see, this little team of, the Impossible, the Magnificent Seven, not the Magnificent Seven, the Dirty Dozen that are like going to pull off this heist to get the Death Star plans. It's like, these people are dead. They ain't going to make it out alive. Yeah. And hopefully we get to see Darth Vader kill quite a few of them too. That's and I mean, I saw the trailer for it, and they've got that pissed off power walk Vader going in. They got that I'll break my foot off in your ass Darth Vader. So hopefully we're gonna see some really fucked up shit. I want to see some bad shit happen. What do you think, Doc?
I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I mean, I can't wait to see it. But like you said, looking forward to a badass Vader.
Yeah, it's just that 7 was kind of a disappointment. Like, it was a fun movie to watch, but you actually dig deeper into it. It's kind of a disappointment at 7.
Yeah, but the reason 7 was disappointing was a couple of reasons. First of all, and I'll be the first one to admit it, we were wrong. We all shat on George Lucas for the prequels. And the prequels as movies are not very good. But if you take out the whole this is a movie thing out of it and appreciate them for the story that they tell, if you're a Star Wars fan, they tell a very interesting story. And if you're a major Star Wars fan, information that you kind of need to fucking know. You know what I mean? And like, because I remember watching these and I was like, okay, that's Anakin Skywalker. He's a slave. He's basically Jesus. He's space Jesus because he has no father. and the force caused him to be born. Okay, that's really cool. He's got apparently his force potential is greater than even Yoda. And if you have greater force potential than Yoda, that's fucked up, dude. You're pretty damn powerful. Okay, that was the first
but they
movie.
try to change it from like a science fiction BS to magic. Because the Force was essentially magic, and
the thing is
like
that he tried to explain it.
Yeah,
he tried to explain it. Like if he instead of going midichlorians, he just said, "Look, his force potential is greater than Yoda." Oh shit, that would have been cool. But you still got information that you needed to know, like about Tatooine and about how Anakin grew up and why he is the way he is. And like when you see, well, who came up with this plan? Chancellor Palpatine. You're like, oh shit, Palpatine. It's like, kill him now, kill him now. and you know, like, and the Jedi Council and how the Jedi's were pulled into this plan that was masterminded the entire time by Palpatine from the shadows. It's actually really interesting to see all this shit go down. And then in the second movie, you find out how they got the Death Star. Who created it? Genosans created plans for a giant battle station that could basically destroy planets, the Death Star. They weren't about to give it to the Empire, but, well, the Empire didn't exist in the Republic, but, you know, because of Palpatine's plans going on in the background, his masterminding of this elaborate plan, he basically gets the plans for the Death Star and gets this massive army of elite crack soldiers. Masterminded by Palpatine. I mean, that's how badass this shit is, you know? I mean, the story is really interesting. And then, of course, the third movie, the fall of Anakin Skywalker, the rise of Darth Vader. But here's the thing. Interesting story. The way the films were crafted was not very good. George Lucas is really good at the graphical flair of things. Like, I saw Red Tails, which was a story about the Tuskegee Airmen in World War II. Really great movie. Story not too good. 1 and 3. But... Now, what were you going to say, Kenoshi?
One of the three, one and 3 were, I thought, really fun movies to watch. But,
yeah.
2 was just terrible.
You know, normally I would agree with you, but 2 gave us Yoda fighting, so I can't really. That was a redeeming factor.
That is true. That is true.
Because we finally got to find out why you did not want to fuck with Yoda. And after I saw that, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't fuck with him either. Shit. Fuck. Shit.
Yeah.
Shit. That little old man with that stick, I'd be like, go ahead, man. How much money do I owe you, Sonny? For you, it's free. Go on in. Just go on in. I got to pay you something. No, just take whatever you want. Just don't hurt me. So, but yeah, as a storyline, it was very interesting. And now we get to see what happens between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. We get to see the events that led up to Darth Vader walking on that blockade runner and breaking a dude's neck and throwing him into a wall. That's pretty badass. You know? And that's why, I mean, it's that type of Star Wars fan. I'm like, oh, this is really awesome. I mean, it sucks that Disney threw away all that expanded universe stuff because they're stupid. Well, actually, no, they didn't want to pay those people money for their stories, but they're stealing bits and pieces of their stories, which, whatever.
Is J.J. Abrams going to direct the next one?
Yeah, I think he is, but I think the one after that, someone else will take. Yeah. But here's the thing: I think Abrams is kind of over. I mean, he basically. Let me put it this way: he ran the first Star Trek movie was okay. The second movie was terrible.
I actually like that movie a lot.
Oh god!
But I'm not a Star Trek fan. I didn't grow up with Star Trek. I didn't grow up with it like you. I think if I did, I would have a different opinion. But I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
Second one.
If you grew up with it, you would be like, if you like, okay, it was good for people who were not into Star Trek, but it alienated the fan base, and that's why that movie kind of didn't do as well as it should have. Because Paramount doesn't understand, if you piss off your fan base, you will not, that's not good. Sony doesn't understand that either, especially with Ghostbusters, but that's another story for another day. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. This is an impromptu podcast. Why the fuck not? We can talk about Ghostbusters. Why the hell not? We will talk.
I didn't see that movie, but when I saw the trailer, it's like, man, the CGI in this movie looks terrible.
It looked like something from the live action Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, it looks bad.
But I'm gonna ask Doc. Did you see Ghostbusters 2016 with your wife?
I think he disappeared. I think he fell asleep.
Damn it. Okay, fine then. Anyway, yeah, I saw Ghostbusters 2016. It's not a terrible movie. It's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not terrible either. It's middle of the road. The reason that movie flopped is because basically um, Paul Feig had never made that type of movie before, and Sony antagonized the fans of Ghostbusters, which you don't do to a movie that's not going to release in China. Like, if a movie is going to hit all major regions, then you can basically be a little like, well, you can be a little cavalier to your fans. But if it's not even going to hit China, and you really need fans to basically say, this is a good movie, come and bring their family and friends to come see it. You don't antagonize the fans by saying you're a bunch of basement dwellers and you're a troll and you're just doing this because you don't think women can be Ghostbusters.
I almost bought that movie.
But Ghostbusters 2016?
Yeah, it costs like I think $7 on Blu-ray.
Wow, why didn't you get it, man? I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It's
Now I know
just
it's not terrible, but I mean, I'm still considering getting it. But like, Best Buy had their early Black Friday sales access for elite
mhm,
members, of which I am.
mhm.
So I went and bought like $200 worth of Blu-rays for like $75.
No, it's a smart move.
Speaking of Blu-rays, like I remember back in the day, it took 6 months for a movie to come out on VHS and DVD. Now it takes
Oh
about
no
two
no
to
no no
three
no
months. What's going on with
no
that?
no!
No, no,
It used to actually be like 9 months because
no,
even like a movie like Avatar was in theaters for like 9, almost 10 months.
no, man. I like
But now it only takes 2 or 3 months.
and Dr. Philgood will back me up. It used to take forever for something to come out on VHS or Betamax. Like if you wanted to have Star Trek or Laserdisc, although very few movies came out on Laserdisc. But well, actually, very few people had Laserdisc, so it was like it may have came out on Laserdisc, but most people weren't buying that version. But I remember when the last Indiana Jones movie came out. It basically it took it was like almost 2-3 years before it came out on VHS. It took forever. And when I say the last Indiana Jones movie, by the way, I don't mean Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I mean the real last Indiana Jones movie, the only one
No,
that
that was the
matters.
last one. That
Yeah,
was the last one.
the last Indiana Jones, the one that had Sean Connery as his dad. It was like the best duo ever. Junior, 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 you killed that man. He was a Nazi. Okay. How'd you know she's a Nazi, Dad? She talks in her sleep. Ew. They killed my boy. Sorry, that's just one of my favorite movies. But yeah, it used to take forever for movies to come out, and now it's like if a movie's bad enough, they'll like how fast the Blu-ray came out for Batman v Superman, like 3 weeks.
The only movie that I recall that had an accelerated launch of the DVD and Blu-ray was Ray, and that's because of they wanted to make sure he was eligible for the awards, of which Jamie Foxx did win.
Yeah, but he played a really good he transformed himself into that character.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
know that. I agree with it, but like when the movie came out, it came out on DVD like maybe a month and a half later.
uh,
It was close. It was no more than two
yeah,
months,
but
and I was like,
that
wow, like,
still
that shit was quick.
that was still not as fast as they got out Batman v Superman. Like literally, it came out in March, and by April,
No,
the
no, it wasn't
DVD
April.
came out.
No, it wasn't April. Batman v Superman didn't come out until like maybe a couple months back.
No, because they moved it. Because originally it was supposed to come out around the same. Originally it was supposed to come out around the same time as um, Civil War, but Civil War they pushed it forward so that it wouldn't coincide with Civil War. Because I remember when it came out and I watched it, I was like, look, I told everyone who watched, I was like, look, save your money, go watch Civil War, you'll be a lot happier. And so, but anyway, like literally like three weeks later, they came out with the Blu-ray with the extended cut. I'm like, God damn.
Which movie was this?
Batman v Superman.
Oh, after the movie came out.
Like literally, the movie came out in March. Here, I want to make sure because I don't want to
It
get
says the
my.
Blu-ray came out actually on July 19th.
Okay, 2 months. So
That's not 2 months, man. That's like
that,
5.
no, if it comes out in March,
If it came out in March, okay, that makes it 4 months.
really? Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
probably right. Anyway, seemed faster than that to me. But then again,
You
look,
dick.
the longer that shit could have came out, the longer it would have been. It seemed longer to me, but maybe that's just me. My bad. I was
I wonder if
incorrect
they
in my
make
opinion.
the DVD and Blu-ray stuff simultaneously when they're making the movie, so they hold back on the DVD for a few months so they can
Well,
get their money back with movie tickets and then release it.
well, generally speaking, the way they split the money, it depends on which region. In the U.S., in the U.S., Canada, and Canada region, it's like a 50-50 split with the movie theater, and the ticket sales is movie theater and and the studio that owns the film. With
Yeah,
with places like China and Europe, it's completely different. Like in some cases, it's a 30-70 split where the studio gets 30%, the theater gets 70% or 60%. So I mean, like when you see those box office, when they say this generated this much revenue in this region, like in Europe, you have to have that because really they're making less money than that.
yeah, yeah.
So when you think about that, then you got to look at it and be like, okay, well, shit. No wonder they had to get this DVD out because like Batman v Superman essentially. Here, let me look on the Google page because I googled it. Not googled it. I Wikipedia it. I wikied it. Here, let me look that shit up because I'm crazy like that. Batman v Superman had a budget of 250 million. The box office was 873.3 million. But here's what you have to put into context, okay? The budget for that film, when they budget for a film, it's not just how much they spent on the film. You also have to put in how much they spent on advertisement, okay? Typically
Yeah.
speaking, if a film has a budget of 100 million, that's still AAA. You have to think that advertisement is at least 50% of what they spent to make it. So if uh, so, this film probably had an advertisement budget because they were putting Batman v Superman every fucking where. So you got to add another 100 million to that 250. So it was 350 million. Then you got to factor in, okay, like it generated 873.3 million dollars in revenue. You got to have that, okay, because basically 50% of that is going to various theaters and shit that screened it. So basically, they wound up making $100 million, maybe.
Hey, that's more than what Sony made.
Yeah, it is because Sony picked some stinkers this year. Not as bad as Paramount though. They did that Ben Hur movie that no one wanted to see. No one. I do mean no one. But yeah, it was fairly interesting. um, but yeah, Sony fucked up too. The only reason Sony, because their charts you can pull up, Sony didn't lose as much money this year as Paramount, because Paramount had several bombs this year and no big tent poles that actually managed to hit. Um,
Hmm.
and it is because Sony had small shit this year that actually did pretty well. So that kind of helped them a little bit.
So are any of you gonna watch the comedy show that is the VGAs this year?
Nope. There, video
I think
game.
that's your name
Video,
talking
let me put
about
this
it.
way: E3 is irrelevant. Video game shows are also irrelevant.
No, I just wanted a good laugh. That's why I was gonna watch it. Because I knew it was gonna be terrible, like it is every year.
Jeff Keighley is also irrelevant.
Yeah, they are irrelevant. They're not necessary.
Yes, I said that Jeff Keighley is irrelevant.
And they're just as pretentious as your Oscars and whatnot. Because a lot of the Oscars and like the Golden Globes and stuff like that, behind the scenes,
Well, right
people
now
are
you're getting.
buying those
Well, right now
awards.
you're getting the Oscar bait films coming out. You know, and I'm not going to get mad because there are some good Oscar bait films that have come out that didn't get an Oscar that were actually pretty good, like The Color Purple, or Diana Ross and Lady Sings the Blues, which is about basically it's a biopic of Billie Holiday, great jazz slash blues vocal musician from the 1920s, 30s, 40s. So I mean, there's some good film. There's some good films that didn't get Oscars, and I mean, I think the Oscars and the Academy Awards, like award shows, do have purpose. I just don't think video games need to have award shows because
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand the purpose of having video game award shows.
it doesn't make any sense. I mean, okay, if you want to give an award to some, because, and I know some people would say, but video games and movies um, are they're both entertainment medium, but like movies have been used to um, make social commentary, right? Like To Kill a Mockingbird is a film that tackles what it means to be family, and it tackles racism. They're films that tackle sexism. They're films that tackle the history of people overcoming fantastic odds. They're like films can have a greater purpose than just I'm watching this just for the enjoyment. They can do things that uh, can reflect and change society. Talk about things that people don't normally want to talk about. Video games pretty much are just, I mean, they're there to have fun. It's like, would you give an award? The game award this year goes to Jump Rope. That sounds fucking ridiculous, and yet people want to do that. Hide to Go Seek
Yeah,
is runner up, followed by Red Rover, Red Rover. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just some asshole.
yeah. No, anyway, it's just there's not a lot of there's not a lot of games that do like social commentary. They probably don't, even if they are, they don't do a particularly great job at it.
Exactly. They suck at it. They either hit you over the head or, it's just,
Yeah, yeah,
they just don't do it well.
yeah. They have to constantly beat it into you, or they have to, Most of the time I've noticed that they just have to constantly beat it into you. Because there's not a lot of super great story writers in gaming.
Well, I mean, there are good story writers. It's just a lot of people don't want to play those games. They don't want to play games that have deep, engaging stories. Because normally those are RPGs. And who wants to put 40, 50, 60 hours, 70, 100 hours into an RPG? Most people don't. So,
yeah.
I know some people might get mad when I say that. Like, you bastards. How dare you? But
yeah.
That's right, I said it. The average Joe Blow does not want to put hundreds of hours into an RPG. And I don't blame them. I mean, shit. I mean, there's certain games I don't want to put. There's certain games that I don't want to put hundreds of hours in. It has to be a pretty damn compelling reason for me to put hundreds of hours into a game,
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, they're selling a Steam Link for $20. I don't need a Steam Link shit.
Yeah. That's for people who have their PC in their office and they don't want to haul their PC out to their living room. So if they have a fast enough internet connection, they can just plug it into their television and just do it that way.
Elder Scrolls. So, anything else anyone have a topic they want to bring up before we wrap things up? Doc, anything you want to bring up? Okay, then. Kenoshi, anything you want to bring up? Anything you want to pimp
I
out?
think that's it for me. Nope.
Okay.
No, I don't have anything.
All right. So this is the end of the quick Thanksgiving podcast. Nothing too special. We were just talking a little bit of shit, shooting the shit. Talked about movies, talked about games we were looking forward to. Nothing much, because nothing much really coming out right now, but what does exist, we're kind of happy for. So, peace, and good night.
Good night.